Today we need to talk about people really upset at ENHYPEN and what happened there. We need to get into rumors and accusations about Jung Kook and Zionism, and then we have Jung Kook's achievements being talked about even though he's at the camp. Say Dumplings is safe to decide hate it or not. Make sure you're subscribed with the notification bell on. Grab your dumpling, taste filling mug merch, and let's go. We need to get into people bragging about the achievements of Jung Kook even though he is in the military. This is definitely something worth bragging about because many idols who have enlisted have never been able to keep their success and career trending and on top charts while they're literally out from the spotlight. So these are like Jung Kook's power and words that are affecting things outside of the camp. And this is very shocking to most people. So what happened? Several Korean media sites reported that in spite of the hiatus, Jung Kook remained on the top 100 and top 200 Billboard charts for 8 consecutive weeks or 2 months. And the reason this is such a big achievement is because this is not something that is very easy to do at all. Most artists remain on the charts by doing performances. Performances are a way a TV show can also get ratings due to the appearance of the celebrity, and the celebrity can get exposure because performances bring new energy into a song and draw new listeners and fans. This is usually how most artists remain on the charts. However, this is extremely difficult to do when the artist is out of the spotlight and has no way to perform on these shows. We hear all the time that an artist might hit #1 on the top 10 charts, so hearing something like this about Jung Kook might not sound like a big deal. However, it's easier to get on the top charts for maybe a day or a week because these are just the fans buying the album and songs. But usually what keeps a song on the charts is that it's appealing to newer audiences and the newer audiences are buying it. So what makes the feat so interesting for Jung Kook is that regardless of whether he is actively promoting or not, he is still selling the songs, and that can either be through word of mouth, social media push, or just the fact that even after 2 months, the song is still going viral. These definitely show the type of artist that he is and that his music is extremely well liked. A lot of artists also have songs that only make sense for a season, but it seems like his music has resonated with people well beyond and outside of a specific niche. And this has been the goal of all K-pop artists in Korea. There's nothing wrong with being known as a K-pop artist, but there is a certain stigma that is associated with that name. People won't give it a chance after just hearing K-pop, and yeah, K-pop itself has gone through some serious rebranding over the years, but that stigma is still there. An artist wants to be known as successful and successful in spite of their genre, whereas K-pop are known as successful just for being in K-pop. The niche supersedes their talent almost, and I'm glad that Jung Kook has sort of broken that barrier, although that barrier was broken because he decided to make music in English. I really do love Jung Kook, and whatever music he decides to make going forward, I really hope he just enjoys it the same way we all do. It's an odd time to be a public figure because it's easier than ever to achieve success. And I don't mean that to downplay every artist who has achieved success, but it was near impossible for many artists to even get a head start in their career in the past. But now with social media, it's slightly easier. And a lot of labels will utilize the social content to push their artists now. It's part of their plan. So within this plan of doing things like going live or interacting with their fandom is a crucial part to get to where they need to be. Recently, Jake from ENHYPEN did a live stream and got into a big scandal. The issue got so big, people were demanding that he get removed from the group, that he apologize, the whole 9 yards. And I think this is definitely very interesting. Jake did a stream and he was drinking some coffee. I think it was believed he was repeatedly drinking from the coffee cup. The cup was from Starbucks and had the Starbucks logo. Now this is a big issue because anytime a celebrity shows a brand logo or holds it, it's supposed to make people feel like they're endorsing the brand even if the idols are not. So it made some people in the fandom feel like Jake was trying to get people to buy from Starbucks. Eventually, I think Jake had seen some of the comments going on during the stream and just said that he would stop drinking, and he eventually ended the stream. It was believed that he might have had no idea about the controversy and just stopped drinking because he was seeing people saying to stop drinking. Maybe he assumed that people thought it was rude to drink or eat during the stream. I don't know what he thought. Now, to give it a bit of context, it's a bit of a touchy subject to support or buy from Starbucks right now. It's believed that Starbucks' largest shareholder has been openly supporting Zionism and has made large investments to Israeli companies. This made people question whether Starbucks had any affiliation with Zionist beliefs. These issues caused a huge backlash with things like their store getting vandalized and many more things. A fan had posted asking Jake to apologize from drinking from the Starbucks cup, and asked Jake to educate himself on what is going on in the world right now with the company. Jake replied saying that he does apologize and will do better. Of course, the fan who said this also received a lot of heavy backlash for demanding someone apologize, to even some people saying that when he logged off the stream, that he actually owed everyone an apology. First off, no one has to apologize. Even if you believe that they did a terrible thing and even went as far as literally murdering someone, it's not their obligation or your right to demand an apology. Your right falls into, okay, I just won't support them anymore. You do not have the right to force words out of a person. Second of all, and the issue that irks me the most, we have seen several celebrities drink from Starbucks, and in recent times, they do not have an Instagram page or comment section filled with people demanding an apology. It's because you know those people won't apologize. It's sick because these fans feel like a K-pop idol is very vulnerable or scared, so they want to feel like they can tell the idol what to do. But no, that is not the job of the fans. The fans' job is to leave if they don't like it. Nothing has to be said. I personally do think Jake had no ill will or bad intention when doing the stream. I personally believe Jake does not have to apologize, but if he comes on the stream next time and does not drink from Starbucks anymore, isn't that enough or the same thing? Why does he have to address it directly? Because he disappointed some people? Who are these people? His mom? People also like to throw around the word Zionism and genocide. Genocide is defined as someone attempting to wipe out an entire race of people. Zionism's goal is not to wipe out a group of people. I'm going to try to say this neutrally, but in fact there is no historical facts that support Zionism and genocide together. Zionism is a political and ideological movement that emerged in the late 19th century with the aim of establishing a Jewish homeland in Israel. The comparison of Zionism and genocide is often made by those who oppose the policies and actions of the Israeli government towards Palestinians. The critics argue that Israeli policies such as the takeover of Palestinian territories, the construction of settlements, and use of military force have resulted in the suffering and loss of life for Palestinians. Sure, that argument is supported. There's facts for that. However, the critics view those actions as a form of systematic oppression and ethnic cleansing, and then they throw the word genocide in there, even though that's not exactly what is going on. I want to preface that I have no specific side that I'm on. I just don't like it when I am seeing my favorite person or idol being attacked over something the vast majority of people don't understand or had ever even taken 2 seconds to research. People have been non-stop attacking HYBE and Jung Kook over this same Zionism situation, saying HYBE and Jung Kook supports genocide. Really? An idol supports genocide? A company who wants to make money supports the idea of millions of people dying? Why? So they can have less customers? That's a sentence that we can say apparently. It's simply not true. HYBE trended this morning with people saying that they are trying really hard to get the attention of HYBE and they've been trending, but HYBE is ignoring. And I honestly think that HYBE should continue to do that because they need to stop making themselves so accessible to the fans. HYBE is not the fandom's friend. HYBE is there to make money. Why don't these people tweet or trend things about the IRS? Because they know the IRS won't respond. HYBE needs to do the same thing and eventually people will stop. People were posting that the longer HYBE chooses to ignore this or continue to have those artists on Jungkook's album, it makes Jungkook look like he supports Zionism. However, even if HYBE addresses this, how do they? Because they can't. They will just remove their album. I don't understand what they're supposed to do. However, now that protesting HYBE isn't working, these people are trying really hard to attack Jung Kook or burn his album and accuse him of supporting, and I don't think he supports. I don't think he has an opinion on what is going on. Let me know what you think. Make sure you check out my Patreon for more videos, link down below. Thanks for this lovely comment right here. Love you, bye.